What's up, you filthy animals? My name's Aaron Ciotti. Everybody calls me Ciotti. Welcome back. It is Whoop Wednesday. It was my birthday a bunch of days ago. What's today, the 23rd? It was my birthday on last Thursday, but I was in California, not live streaming. I turned 44. I feel no different. So yeah, happy birthday to me. Maggie and I just got back. Everything this month is just absolutely ridiculous. Maggie had a conference for work in California, and so I tagged along and got to go to California a second time, which was incredible. First time I went, I was like, yeah, okay, this is the place. And now this time I got to explore a little bit more, and I'm a lot older. The last time I'd been was 15 fucking years ago to go to my cousin Andrea's wedding, and I did a ton of photography there for her. And then I didn't go back for 15 years, which is ridiculous. But it's like it's a big kind of expensive trip, you know. It's not like a little trip. It's a big trip. It's one of them there big trips. And so, yeah, that was super fun. I'll tell you more about it once my brain... I feel like my head's going to explode. Our flight got delayed Monday, and then we flew 3 hours into the future, and we didn't get home until 4:30 a.m. yesterday, Tuesday. And then yesterday afternoon, I had a gig, which is what you were watching at the opening of the live stream. That is Dr. J's son, Julius Irving, from the Philadelphia 76ers, his son. That's his house. That I got brought in to fly from a really cool company called Alpha Fine Homes and another company called Force Media, who I worked with on the gig with all of the hypercars in the garage that I have in my stories from a month or two ago, I guess. They were super impressed, and they brought me back, and they've got a bunch of other really, really, really high-end homes that they want me to fly. They're not even using these fly-throughs to try to sell the homes. They're just selling these fly-throughs to the... I know that they're using them as marketing material. I have a funny feeling that they're also doing an edit and selling it to the homeowner. Because that's super cool, you know? Like, who wouldn't want an epic edit of their, you know, $5 million home so that they can show off to all their friends and have the biggest swinging dick in the room? That's how it works, right? Pretty much. And I am officially done bouncing data around and stabilizing files and all that good stuff. Gig ran pretty late last night. I didn't get back here until, I want to say, like almost 10 o'clock. And then I had an Amazon order had shown up with another hard drive enclosure and some other stuff in my ongoing quests to get my data secure again. And so I had to get all that figured out, and yeah, it's going well, though. It's going very well. I'm almost totally back on my feet. The end of the Terrible says, Dr. J's son needs to do some decorating. I thought it was a model house. Well, so he hasn't moved into it yet. That was... he provided the like, for example, we had to wear our socks, and like some of the paint was still wet. So yeah, they grabbed like a bunch of stuff to just kind of throw up on the walls, but yeah, he hasn't even moved in yet. There's like nothing in there. Just enough stuff like artwork and whatnot to make it look really cool, so that we get the fly through done. They might bring me back out to fly it again once he has moved in, as like a cool sort of before and after or whatever, which would be fun. So yeah, Bob Bruce in the chat, Chaser FPV, Levster, LOL, the Kiddison, Craig, Benny Bravo, Frank Nicholas, Uriel, Render, Andrew Taylor, Spaceman Spiff, Tamava, maybe. Freeloader, Brian Kirk, Scotty Scott, 70, Uke in FPV, Everyday with Bruno, Ron Murray, capital C, Kazuma, Denzel the Terrible, capital C, Islander FPV, Texas UAV Source, McMucus, Ali Cat, Chris Mel, Sean Glyph, Reagan V, Cheetonian, Rays FPV, Brand Anderson, Craig, Denzel the Terrible, Skull 901, Spontaneous Sportsman, William Loesch, Reagan V again, Telmave. I got it right on the first try. Look at me go. Telmave. Telmava. Why did I put an L in there? It's Tamava, right? William Loesch. What's up, friends? Thanks for coming. Sorry for the big gap in live streams. You get this one, and then there's another big gap in the live streams. One of the reasons why my brain is still melting out of my ears is that tomorrow I pack all my stuff up again and go out of town again, get on another airplane. This time I'm going to Tiny Whoop Open, as we've been talking about recently, in Denver, Colorado. So that's going to be super cool. Tune in to the live stream. I'll be doing a little bit of announcing. I'm also going to try to do some live flying, some like live broadcast flying. You know, they've got a bunch of different Cosmostreamers, and I've got a bunch of different builds that are set up to do it. So I've got the 04 drift car chasing rig. If they've got a Cosmostreamer that'll interface with goggles too, I'll be able to use that, which will be super cool. I'm also bringing the Walksnail rigs. Matter of fact, I'm going to set these aside. So yeah, if for whatever reason Cosmostreamer won't work with 04, I've got the That's not it. I've got the freestyle and drift car chasing. Let's just call it cinematic. 65mm cinematic Walksnail rigs. So yeah, that could be really, really cool. That could be super fun. The Walksnail rigs, it won't output clean, but it just has a couple little OSD elements around the corners, which is really no big deal. They can crop in a little bit on it, and it'll basically be clean. So yeah, I have to bring that cable. Actually, I have to remember to bring that cable. We will try. You know, I kind of want to try that cable tonight. We are going to fly a few batteries, and I've got a new super cheap little HDMI capture card hooked up to the USB-C to HDMI cable. So we'll give it a shot tonight as a part of the 6 batteries. We'll fly this freestyle rig a little bit, and yeah, that'll be super fun. How you guys been doing? How's everybody been doing out there in TV land? Is that the most obnoxious thing you've ever heard anyone say ever? If you want to talk directly to me, just type CiottiFPV in your chat comment, and it'll light up an orange for me, and I'll know you're talking to me. CiottiFPV.com is the website where you can support me. I greatly appreciate those of you that haven't bailed on my Patreon while I've been gone. Lots of different ways that you can support me. Patreon helps me out the most, and it's only $3 a month, my friends. This is how I keep doing these live streams as good as I'm doing them. This is how I test as much stuff as I can test. I appreciate your help. If you're on the $3 tier, maybe jump up to the $5 tier. You'll get in on giveaways the first Monday of every month. If you win a giveaway, it'll cover that couple extra bucks a month for like years. Etsy has some really fun stickers and hardware, and even full builds over there on Etsy, actually. But lots of really cool stickers. Do me a favor, go check them out. Get yourself a couple stickers. Show your love. Lots of really cool designs from CMYK, and colors and finishes. And this one's actually see-through. The white is see-through. Come on now. Home of the Whooper? Come on. You need it. You fucking need it. I don't even think I have these anymore. Some of these are long gone, but most of them are still available. You'll see. This is a magnet. I think these are gone. Regular. What else? Over on Fiverr, you can work one-on-one with me, but my availability is a bit of a nightmare right now. Teespring's got some really fun shirts and other random apparel. And then there's a link to my PayPal over on CiottiFPV.com if you want to do a super chat, but you don't want Google to take 30%. Come on, bro. If you're into cars and you don't have a Kill All Carbon sticker, what are you even doing with your life? Searchable live stream transcripts link in the on the website as well. Craig has done an amazing job making all of these live streams searchable. This is actually glow in the dark, which is pretty rad. And this is a window cling. Show your love and help me keep doing this full time. Get yourself a sticker or 10 and stick them in places. And then take pictures of them. And then do something with those pictures. I feel like I have rabies right now. I can't get these stickers into the goddamn bag. There we go. I got it. It's fine. Everything's fine. And then there's a ton of affiliate links, yo. Change your bookmarks to affiliate links. Stop not using affiliate links. Amazon, Get FPV, Pyro Drone, Race Day Quads, Newbie Drone, Weebleed FPV, Beta FPV, FPV Cycle, Hasingi, Oh My God, Brain 3D, HD0, Flywoo, Emacs, Banggood, Camera Butter, AliExpress. I can still do that really fast. That just means that I've done it too many goddamn times. There you go. That's how you subscribe me. What was that word? Subscribe me? That's how you subscribe me? That's how you support me. Support is the word that I was groping for. Why is this here? Why are you here? This place is a mess, yo. I have I have created one of the biggest messes of all time. But there's just a whole bunch of stuff that I don't want to like put away and have disappear right now. When I get back next week, it's going to be nice. I'm going to get caught up. It's going to feel really good. But yeah, holy Christ, this place is looking like a bomb went off. But, you know, it's always messiest before it's cleanest. Craig says, happy late birthday. Hope you had a great vacation. I did. I had an amazing vacation. Thank you, brother. Freelojo says, happy birthday. Scotty Scott says, happy birthday. 6 cakes for 6 batteries. Thank you, guys. Everyday with Bruno says, grandpa. Uke and FPV says, happy birthday, man. Hope you had a good day. I did indeed. Denzel the Turtle says, happy birthday, old man. McMucus says, happy barf day. Welcome back. Alley Cat says, happy birthday. Cheetonian says, happy birthday, bro. Ray says, happy belated. Brent Anderson, glad you're back. Cheerio. Craig says, go Philly. Got that one. William Loesch says, happy birthday. Here's to all you've done for me in the collective. We love you, dude. Thank you, man. Denzel the Triple says, no wonder it looked like no one lived there. Yep. They don't yet. Soon. Everyday with Bruno says, chat, what can I use 1404 6000 kV on? 4S with 2.5-inch tri-blades. The 14 what 1404 6000s do you have? Are those Emax? I'm gonna guess. 1404 6000 kV is one of my favorite motor sizes because you can run a biblade 3-inch prop on it and still make good power, or you can run a tri-blade 2.5-inch prop on it and make really good power with 4S. So yeah, but but very few folks make 1404 6000s. Who makes those? Moss1 says, I have a 2G4 on SE0804. Jesus Christ, big motors. Both startups cranked all the way in ESC config, and 2G4 still struggles to spin all motors. Where would you start? Update to the newest version of Blue Jay. It has more aggressive startup power. And then, or if you don't want to do that, the next step is always just to push the idle up. Just keep pushing the don't use the digital idle in the PIDs tab. Use the old school idle in the motors tab and just keep pushing it up higher and higher and higher, and eventually it should spin those motors. Brian Kirk says, what is the angle of the hummingbird canopy you added on? So I put the Brain canopy onto my hummingbird V4, and I chose the lowest up tilt, which is 25 degrees. I wish that there was like a 20-degree up tilt, but, you know, wish in one hand and shit in the other and see which one fills up first. You like that one? That's one of my favorites. I switched on this antenna and then I didn't like glue it down or anything. That was kind of silly. Hold on. Yo! E6000 is the greatest shit in all the land. I created a macro lens setup on this old iPhone with E6000, and it looks professional. It looks so good you would swear that a company did this and sold it on the internet. Isn't that the most professional thing you've ever seen? It's perfectly out of focus, so you can't see how bad it looks. I just E6000 the shit out of it. But it's super secure, and like if I ever need to get it off, I can just peel the E6000 up. I don't know if I ever really thought about using E6000 in this way. What this thing is, what this lens is that there's this company called easy-macro.com that makes this little thing with a tiny little macro lens on it. And you just wrap it around the old school iPhones. Here, that's the thing. This is a small little lens so it only really works on the old school iPhones with the little tiny lenses. My new phone with these giant lenses, it won't really work as well. But yeah, I E6000 it to this. And then what I'm going to be able to do is use this as like a detail camera. Since I'm not using this anymore and I don't want to just let it sit, Apple has a handshake exchange sharing, profit sharing setup, where yeah. So I got that going for me. So it's been a while since I've live streamed, apparently. Hold on. This works outrageously well. I will say, though, that it is super macro. It's not a little macro. It's all the way macro. I kind of wish that it was a little bit less macro. You know what I'm saying? Just a little bit less. Chris Croft says Cosmostreamer will work with 04. I have a Goggles 2 license. Very cool. Frank Nicholas super generously sent me a Raspberry Pi that I need to get. Yet another thing that I've been kind of waiting on. I need to get the license all situated and get Cosmostreamer installed and all that. I don't know if I don't know if the company that does the live streaming for these Tiny Whoop races, I don't know if they use Cosmostreamers. I have a funny feeling that they do. And if they do, yeah, I guess it'll have all the software and whatnot. I guess we'll be able to just kind of like plug right into it. But I don't know. I have not gone down that road quite yet. So I'm not sure how all that jazz works. But hopefully, if they don't have it, hopefully they've got a way of just inputting HDMI from Walksnail. That would be super, super, super cool. I should have put mailbag in the description of the live stream, but I forgot. We are going to be doing mailbag in a little bit here. So, you know, that'll be fun. It'll be more fun for me. But it'll still be fun for you. You can live vicariously through me. All right. Yo, I straight up wear those nerd goggles for everything now. Like, absolutely everything. Everything I do, I wear the nerd goggles for. That's like on this bench. Either the nerd goggles have made me realize that how nice it is to be able to see the little details of what you're doing and not just sort of like guess when you're putting glue on or soldering or whatever, or my eyes are getting worse. And like being able to see what you're doing has been pretty amazing. And so I wear them all the time. All the time. All the time. JP Spin says, happy birthday, you show off. I'll turn 44 in August, and I'm salt and pepper like dog intended. Craig says, converted several green GNB 350 mAh 3-pin connectors to BT 3.0. They are available, only 1 gram heavier than the Tiny Whoop guys. Very cool. Don't they not fit quite right in the battery trays, though? I think my green GNB 350s were a little tight in the battery bays. BBB says, happy birthday. The beard is looking great. Thank you, man. YouTube just did the thing and scrolled me to the bottom. Scrolling back up. Kazuma says, I want to thank you. 6 batteries a day is maybe so much better. Flying only in air mode now, and I joined iGal. Thank you so much, bro. You're certainly welcome, man. Keep going. Very cool. I love that. Blue Sky F, we are going to fly 6 batteries tonight. Blue Sky FPV says, happy 44th, young man. I hope you have many more happy, healthy years doing things you enjoy with people who matter to you the most. Thank you, man. Very cool of you to say. BMF Space says, happy birthday. Every Day with Bruno says, it is indeed the Emax Ecos. Got the wrong KV by accident, but figured I'd keep them and build something. Yeah, those Emax Ecos are a great motor. The only problem is they're fragile. I loved running those, but like every other inverted crash, I would bend a motor shaft, bend a bell. I even bent like the stators up a little bit. So don't be hard on those motors. Those actually might be a good motor for the live broadcast rigs. I wonder if I could run. I wonder if 1404 6000 on 4S would be enough to run a 2.5-inch biblade and get some of that juicy biblade efficiency, but still have enough power. What I can say for certain is that the T-Hobby, not T-Motor anymore, T-Hobby 1404 4600s don't have enough RPM to make decent power on a 2.5-inch biblade. But 4600 versus 6000 is a big difference. McBucas says, my 2S 2-inch build wants to visit the moon. Is it the skinny Mobula 7 grommets sending me? Could be. I need to know more about the build. Yeah, I need to know more about the build. First thing to do is switch propellers to a different brand of propellers and a fresh set of unmolested props. Then check the motor shafts to make sure they're not bent. And then check the frame to make sure it's not cracked. Those are the 3 biggest things that'll make a tiny whoop want to leave Earth's orbit. B-Mud Skipper says, is the file for the Batwing 04 Lite canopy available for free? It is indeed. Could you link it possibly? I cannot find it. Can't really link it because it's just over on Discord. But if you go to CiottiFPV.com, there's a link to my Discord. In the Discord, there's a 3D printing channel. And in the 3D printing channel, you can just scroll up and you'll find it, but there's a thread in there called like Batwing Mount. And in that thread, there's a bunch of posts, and it's all there. If you want to support me, though, you can buy it by doing an Etsy order, and then in the notes, just say, hey, I need a Batwing for such and such a camera, and I'll throw it in for you. At some point, I'll add the Batwings to the Etsy store. FizzPV says, the vacation looks like you did it good, and one of my favorite quotes is, you can lead a man to knowledge, but you can't make him think. It's a great quote. Yeah, California is something else. It is something else. Now, as a 44-year-old, the biggest thing that came from this trip to California is that people live there. And I know that sounds insane, but like lots of people live there. And there's this, as soon as you start talking about California with someone that doesn't live in California, very early on in that conversation, one or both parties will say, yeah, I would love to live there if I could afford to. If I could afford to. People live there. Lots of people live there. People that drive Lyft for a living live there. Right? People that work in fast food places live there. Like it's not just the wealthy elite that live there. Is it going to be harder to live there working at McDonald's and doing Lyft? Of course. But people live there. People figure out how to make it work. And, you know, if you value the place that you live, then sacrificing the ability to buy a whole bunch of shit is an easy decision, right? And so, yeah, we're here for the next 3 years for sure. Like, well, not for sure, but like we're trying really hard to be here for the next 3 years, so that little Boo can stay in the same high school. But after that, I don't know, man. It is pretty nice. No mosquitoes, really good weather. If there's a big earthquake, you break off the side of the country and float into your doom in the ocean. What's not to love? Denzel the Terrible says, looks like bubbles with those nerd goggles on. Craig says, Apple Continuity Camera. That's the one. Kevin Sumner says, hey, folks, welcome back. Thank you, dude. Bob Bruce says, happy birthday. Hope you're having a great day. I am indeed. Benny Bravo says, happy birthday, buddy. Sorry I'm late. It's all good. Ron Murray says, my Walksnail onboard recordings weirded out today doing iGal. I got 10 OSD files, but only one 10-second video. Ever see that? I've never seen that. That sounds insane. I saw that I am way behind on like YouTube and just everything. But I did see that Ian put up what appears to be a pretty scathing video about Walksnail earlier today that I'm looking forward to watching. Brian Kirk says, I have a Cosmostreamer for DJI goggles, Integra / goggles 2-3. Craig says, the 350 GNB 3 pins fit great, actually a bit loose. I use a small rubber band to keep the CG correct. Very cool. Benny Bravo says, how durable are the motors that come on the Hummingbird V4? They are, they're the same motors that Newbie Drone put on the Hummingbird Race. And I haven't really heard anybody complain about them. I also haven't heard anybody say that they're indestructible, but I think that pretty much all Tiny Whoop motors, I mean, they do all use the same thickness motor shaft, and I have a feeling that they all use pretty much the same material. So I don't really think you're going to find a major difference in durability between any of these motors. I certainly haven't. I've run a lot of different 702 motors from a lot of different manufacturers, and I can't tell a difference in durability. If you crash really, really hard into a hard surface, you're going to bend a 1mm motor shaft a little bit. If you crash really, really hard like that, another like 3 or 4 or 5 times, you're going to bend that motor shaft to the point where it starts to make the PID loop get a little bit upset if you're running an aggressive PID tune. It's just sort of the way that it is. Lightening the rig up helps a little bit, but there's not a whole lot you can do about it. The 1mm motor shafts are too thin. They should be 1.5. Yeah, I don't think you can really buy one motor versus another from some metric that you heard on Facebook or Reddit from somebody that doesn't know what they're talking about that says like, oh, I got these motors and they're indestructible. It's just anybody that's run a bunch of these different motors, I think will tell you that they've also noticed no difference in durability. I've yet to talk to anyone about Tiny Whoop motors with 1mm motor shafts that has said that they've found one that's more durable than another. Chris Croft says, Jesus, I have 8 Cosmostreamers here for a drone racing club. We already have 2 HD0 event VRXs, so we're going to build out 2 4-channel DJI 4 HD0 channel boxes. So we have a box for indoor and outdoor. That's insane, dude. Very cool. Jesus. Benny Bravo says, how are the Venom V2 biblades? Not quite as good as the Gemfan 1210 biblades, which are not quite as good as the new HQ, let's see if I can do this, 1.2 by 1.2 by 2 biblades. I still got it. CBCBR says, hope I haven't asked before what AIO was on the Walksnail 65mm build. Beta FPV, old school 1S. Which has been great. I've used this in a couple of different Walksnail builds, an HD0 build at one point, and it's really and a bunch of analog builds, and it's been fantastic. And I know the racers used it quite a bit. I don't think you can get it anymore though, unfortunately. But yeah, luckily I have a couple extras, one of which is actually sitting right here. Or wait. Or this is the one that blew up. Oh, God. See, this, I can't leave shit. I put stuff, like, right in front of me when I want to do something with it right away. I think this is the one that the ESC is blown up on. It has to be. I'm throwing this away. No. I'm going to put this in the in the bag of broken dreams. Teddy Spaghetti is in the house tonight. Here is the dog that I love so much. He's got fuzzies. Oh boy. Look how fluffy he's getting, yo. We came back and he looked noticeably fluffier. Doggy. Doggy. Stop it. Oh. Oh boy. No. Oh. Oh. No. Hi. Hello. Hello. Fluff monster. Put your paws up on the desk. Whew. Put your paws up on the desk. You're good. Did you just eat something? What are you eating? There he is. Moss1 says, I'm in Los Angeles. Parking effing sucks. I've visited and tons of cities, and I've lived in a few. And parking always sucks. I was actually blown away at how not crowded California was. How's that delay? Is the delay correct? Dog got very upset by the clapping. Yeah, I couldn't believe how I don't know. They're just it's we talked to a couple of locals about it. It's because LA sprawls, and when you sprawl out wide, there's not a massive concentration of people, right? Like Atlanta, New York, they build up. And then all those people are, you know, there are problems associated with sprawl, but it was just really nice to just not have people. It was great. Sleepy CBR says, oh, no, we got that. FizzPV says, in my old age, I need tropical. It's pretty close to tropical. Reagan V says, Albert Kim has a video as well. He said he's selling all his Walksnail gear. Wow. Benny Bravo says, as always, good advice and taken to heart. Thank you, bud. Brian Kirk says, do you need the DJI Cosmostreamer? I could part with it for some time. Don't have much need for it at the moment. Frank Nicholas actually sent me it's around here somewhere. I need to get this area is a total train wreck right now. He sent me a Raspberry Pi, so I just need to jump on to the Cosmostreamer website, buy the license, and then drop it on there. That's going to be what I build my new 04 live broadcast setup from. I've got these two. I panic bought these two the night before the tariff Ponzi scheme, let's call it, was supposed to start. And so, yeah, I just need these frames to show up. I ordered from CNC, or whoever sells Rosser's frames a couple of weeks ago, and they're not here yet, which is weird. But I think that I think when they get your order, they literally cut them and then package them up and then mail them out. So I think that's what's going on there. Mick Mucus says, has no one commented on your haircut? I got it cut before I left, so most people got to see it in like the last live stream last couple of live streams before I went to California. I appreciate that though, Brian. It's super kind of you. Frank says, slight delay. S says, hello and happy birthday. Second time on here. I'm trying to get my first tiny whoop and try to avoid tariffs as much as possible. Is building one out still the best way to go? Not really. The Mobula 6 2024, the Newbie Drone Air 65, and the with the higher KV motors, and the Newbie Drone Hummingbird V4. These are all less money to buy than build. If you were to buy all the parts to build those, you would spend more money. All three of those tiny whoops fly unbelievably well. You'll love them. And yeah, there's no real going wrong with either three of those. Frank Nicholas says Amazon still has 04 Pro sold by Amazon for the same price so far as of today. Very cool. Cheetonian says CNC Frames is in Canada. The mail from there has been slow as well. Gotcha. That makes sense. Islander FPV says you were close. Just another 2,500 miles. You would have been in paradise. Plenty of space and acceptance out here on the Big Island. We got too much shit to move to an island. Everyday with Bruno says CNC normally takes about a week to Georgia. I don't even know if I've gotten a tracking number from them, but I am behind on emails as well. So it might be sitting in here somewhere. But I was hoping that the package would be here when I got back. Maybe this next time that I get back, the package will be here. BMF Spade says, I bought an 04 Pro from GetFPV last night, $229. Nice. So they haven't upped their prices yet. S says, anything in 04? I don't think so. But, like, you kind of shouldn't buy an 04 Tiny Whoop anyway. Unless you're doing professional, like, kind of gig work, basically. An 04 Tiny Whoop is not a freestyle Tiny Whoop. It's a little miniature Cinewhoop. And so the flight dynamics are severely limited. Tiny whoops are analog. Analog is the way to go. You're going to have the most fun. You're going to save a ton of money. You're going to get the best performance. It's really where it's at. Craig says Air 65 is better. It has BT 2.0. So does the Mobula 6 2024. I'm really split between those two. There's things I like about one. There's things I like about the other. I just recently did a giant, not a giant, but a regular old live stream about those three builds. So go a couple live streams back, and I talk all about them. You can't go wrong with any of them. With the biggest pain in the ass of all three is the fact that the Hummingbird V4 comes with PH 2.0. So you have to solder on a different battery connector. If you're going to be into FPV for any amount of time, you're going to have to learn how to solder. So, and a battery connector is not the hardest thing in the world to solder. So, yeah. But all three of them are great. Obi Perez says, happy birthday, youngster. Just built my first 65mm analog rig. Animalog. That's what I'm going to call them from now on. Animalog rigs. Beta FPV Matrix 5-in-1 CO3 70230s. Ultralight frame. Couldn't have done it without you. Love it, man. Love it. Tamava says, same thoughts about 1S Walksnail's 04 for whoops. Yeah, but the 1S Walksnail stuff is, it weighs exactly the same as the 04. So it's the exact same scenario. They become little tiny Cinewhoops. I'll fly the freestyle Walksnail rig later on in the live stream, and you'll see. It's the weight, it is brutal. And also the latency, to be honest. Like, flying inside the house, everything happens really fast. And the latency of these digital systems makes it so much harder to fly them accurately and not crash all the time. Analog for life, my friends. Mustang, Nebraska says, I'm getting a 2-inch 04 2S built. Got the N3 goggles. Super excited. Got 20 300 mAh 2S batteries that come with PH 2.0. Convert the plugs. I want to get BT 3.0. You're going to pull your hair out changing all those plugs over, but you'll get good at that's actually that's a way to get good at soldering right there. $9 for 4 batteries. Oh my God, where's that deal at? That's a really good deal. S says, love the insight. I was gifted Goggles 3 as first goggles, trying to figure out the drone to choose. Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, an O4 Tiny Whoop is super interesting, from like a filmmaking perspective. As an example, at the gig yesterday, I used it to just kind of explore a little bit and see what sort of paths feel right. Like, you can walk, I spend a good amount of time walking around anywhere that I'm about to fly for gig work. And like, I'll walk around and like take notice of the like the key points, the stuff that's going to look good. And I'll kind of like visualize the route in my mind and whatnot and kind of build it out and plan it out. And that's great. But then like, once you're in the air, it changes a little bit. And like, if you try to sort of force it and only fly the route that you walked, you're limiting yourself a little bit. Because again, once you're up in the air, it just, the flow kind of changes a little bit. So an O4 Tiny Whoop like this, for me, is like amazing. And I can go chase the RC drift cars. For somebody that's brand new, though, what you have here is super low runtime, super high cost. And like, this is what it's really good for. It's not necessarily good for like freestyling around the house per se. If this looks like fun to you, though, by all means. But like, yeah, I don't know. An analog Tiny Whoop, you can like rip around the house and get 3, 4, 5 minutes of runtime. And like, it's going to be more durable. It's going to be lower cost. There's so many benefits to it. Yeah, I love this. I love the O4 Tiny Whoops, but they're a pretty specific kind of thing. And they're not really well suited for freestyle. So, yeah, there you go. But I'll tell you what, like an O4 Lite or an O4 Pro on a 3-inch rig, that's fun as hell for outside, and that's fun as hell for like learning how to fly, and kind of getting started. So, Levitated says, happy birthday, you gangly old fart. Thank you, dude. Mustang Nebraska says, solo good, took a chance. What's that mean? DKZ Project says, happy birthday, new in here from Indonesia. Learn a lot from your live streams. Thanks for doing what you're doing. Thank you, brother. Indonesia, very cool. Trip to California. Hop over to iCloud. Well, I don't think I need to hop over to iCloud, do I? Can't I just pull this up magically and isn't this something that Mac can just magically do? iCloud Drive, aren't the pictures all in here somewhere? iCloud Drive, 0 items. Great. Wait, oh. Turn on oh no, I don't want to do that. I just want to view. How can I just view? I'm sure there's an ultra slick way to do this. Photos application, maybe? Get started. Oh! Your boy's a genius. Did you hear it? Sometimes, if you listen real careful, you can actually hear my genius. All right. Oh, this isn't synced up. What is this horse shit? What is this horse manorse? Why is this not synced up? Come on now. Favorites? Map? No. Try one more thing. No. Well, let me try this. No, 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 not male. Regular. Chris Croft says I have a Quadmula Djinn with an 04 Pro 4S, and I love it. Yeah, that is. I want one of those. I'm glad that I got the Quadmula F3 siren, and I waited on the Djinn. I think the Djinn is gonna be my. I think I'm gonna do an 04 Pro in it. Allow. Okay, trust. So good is where I bought the... oh, okay. 4 batteries by 5. Wow, yeah, solo good. There you guys go. Tattoo 300 mAh 2S batteries for ridiculously cheap on solo good. iCloud, here we go. Photos, let's see. Let's see if this is updated. I don't know why this would be up. It is. That's weird. Why is the Photos app not updated? That's strange. Let me make sure that there's nothing grot in here. There shouldn't be. There most certainly shouldn't be. I just wanted to say the word grot. That's an Australian word. Look, always do this. Always do this when you park. Take a picture and then take a video even. Spin the camera around and shit. Show like the other, especially in Atlanta airport is ridiculously big. And then walk a little bit and take another video. Departures LS1, that's what I'm looking for, and then like south parking, see that? Do that shit, bro. Maggie on an escalator. Maggie and I eating. Flying. Look at this guy. He's keeping up. He knows what's up. Hold on. What am I doing? Fast AF. All right. I got him again. There he is again. Bendy ass wings, bro. Oh. 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 The tower. Delta Air. Look at this. Oh, some B-roll. I forgot to use this actually. I did a quick little edit that you patrons have access to on the Patreon patron hangout Discord, and you should have also gotten an email. There's a post on Patreon about it. That's just like a starting point for the edit. I'm gonna add some of this other stuff in there as well. I love flying on airplanes, man. There's a time lapse of takeoff. I don't think I've ever gotten a decent time lapse of the takeoff before. I love watching the flaps move around on the landing. Not so much on the takeoff. It doesn't look like. New sticker setup on the new laptop. Maggie and I were both doing work. I haven't flown on a 757 in a long time. That was pretty cool. This was somewhere over Texas, I believe. I just dig it, man. I dig it. I wish that I'd done what I needed to do to be an airline pilot. There's good money there. Snow in April, and then look at this, yo. Look at these clouds sitting down. We're almost there. This was the coolest looking thing ever, man. These clouds just sitting down in the valleys. This was absolutely amazing. I wish oh, look at that. Like, come on, yo. Look how sick that is. This is the Earth. We live here. It's this big round thing hurtling through the ethos. Is ethos the right word? Probably not. This was just incredible. The coolest shit ever. Ever. Jimmy Carr, thank you, brother. Ugh. Yeah, just amazing. That was actually us turning to start our descent, I believe. Maybe not. Look at that, man. Come on. It's like being on another planet for a minute. What is going on with my... Oh, Teddy scratched me. My arm's all angry. I think... Did I get the land... Nope, I got one frame. Ah, there we go. I think I got the landing. Oh, yeah, no, this is descending down through that cloud cover. Isn't that cool? I was really happy I got this. And then yeah, punching out the bottom. Look at that, yo. Come on now. You can't tell me that doesn't make you excited in the pants at least a little bit. Ugh. So cool. Now we're on final descent. Yeah, the flaps are all the way out. And yeah, the sprawl. There's the sprawl, man. This is crazy compared to like Atlanta, which is like these little pockets of cities in a sea of trees. This was so wild to see this amount of sprawl. Absolutely crazy. Really cool stuff. There's final descent. Hey, I got the landing. Look at me go. Look at that, man. Look how aggressive those flaps are. Big old holes in the wing and shit. God, I love it. Maggie on an escalator. My knee. Oh my God! So I get there. We go out on this little tram car. Just a little shuttle from the airport. I'm sorry, not from the airport. We took a lift to the airport, and then we take this little. We get to the airport, get checked in. And then they've got a little shuttle, a little electric shuttle that they'll take you anywhere within a mile. We're like, oh, take us to like the closest food. She's like, okay. She goes one street over, and we're on the fucking F1 course. And I didn't even realize that F1 was there the previous weekend, and they still hadn't torn down the goddamn racetrack. We were staying like right next to the Long Beach Grand Prix circuit. It was just ridiculous. Look at this tree. Look what this tree looks like. What is that about? Why does it look like that? What's the deal? What is this tree? I love it. There it is. There's the F1 track. The stands are all still up. The barriers are all still up. We ate at this little place. It was all right. Maggie got this drink. I got fish and chips. They were all right. A little harbor. This is the Long Beach harbor here with some silly little lighthouse. Maggie leaning on a tree. There it is. Absolutely ridiculous, man. I walked around on the F1 track. Oh, was it Indy? I thought it was F1. Okay, so that makes me feel better. I don't care about Indy. Big ass grandstands. My God, man. So yeah, this is like right in the sort of middle, sort of northern side of Long Beach. This is Groucho Bay or something. Grotto Bay. Cool looking alleyways. Bunch of crows and black, evil looking birds floating around. That thing. Look at that, yo! How cool is that? Just artwork everywhere. Don't worry about that. This is the business district. And it's just so cool. Everything is nice and clean. There's like nobody around. Port of Long Beach here. The quality kind of sucks, I think, because it's playing these through the internet. But on my phone, these look a lot better. Big ass City National Bank. Yeah, this building. I don't know what this building was, but in that little edit that I put up, you can see me attempt to dive this. It's very windy when you're on the beach, and tiny whoops with like 15, 20-mile-an-hour wind. This is the conference that Maggie was going to. Lots of suicide prevention stuff all over the place, which I was so impressed by. Really, really, really cool. From like multiple different companies too. This is like Never Bother. It looks like this is the name of the country, I guess. But I guess it looks like it's funded through California Department of Public Health. But yeah, lots of mental health stuff all over the place. We rented these silly little lime things at one point just to get like 10 blocks up, which was cool. There he is. My cousin Andrea, who lives just north of Long Beach, suggested this Nick's something or other place for dinner for my birthday. And we went there and it was insane. And I got... What did I get? I don't have to think about it. I just have to keep going forward. Nick's Belmont Shore. Oh, these are fried asparagus. Yeah. I got the bistro plate, petite filet on garlic toast with a little salad and a little cup of tomato soup. It was insane. There I am. Maggie got, I want to say, the salmon with mashed potatoes. It was insane. There he is. And then the next day we went to a sushi place, which was absolutely ridiculous. These trees look like naked cats. Look at them. Naked cat trees. Quargo coffee. Just kind of hanging out, waiting for the Gaucho Beach. That was that beach from before. What was this? Oh, this is a really cool indoor... Oh, man, I didn't get any other images of it. It's like 20 little eateries all in this awesome little area. Thick Thighs Save Lives. We went to a drag show in LA. We found this pizza place, Pie LA. Amazing. This is some of the best pizza I've had. This might be the best pizza I've had not in New York. New York pizza will always be the best, but I think this is like the second best pizza I've ever had. Really, really cool. Really just beautiful little spot too. Oh yeah, we need to, we're going to try to recreate this pizza. Potato au gratin, truffle-infused Gruyere, cheese sauce, ham, and onion confit. A little bit of drag show action for you. Just hysterical, man. So good. So much fun. The subway, which is just... Wait, no, I guess it's not really the subway. It's just their train. It's just their train service. That might be it. No. A little bit more. So the conference for Maggie was Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Saturday, my cousin Andrea picked us up. She lives in San Pedro, like 20 minutes north of Long Beach. And we went up there, which was super cool. This is still Long Beach, though. We walked out. This is Gaucho Beach. We walked all the way out to the water. Lifeguard stands are super cool looking. Yeah, this is Long Beach from Gaucho Island. Big palm trees. Teddy Spaghetti, checking in on him, making sure he's still alive. Again, this is Gaucho Beach again. Oh, this is the Gaucho Cafe. They actually had really good food. Cafe right on the beach. Insane. And now this is at my cousin Andrea's beautiful house in San Pedro. This is her view out of her porch. Her and her husband, Tim, were super welcoming to let us stay. This is a panoramic image. That's why it looks so ridiculous. It's not displaying correctly. They took us out. This is a walk that they go on pretty much every day with their dog, and it's just like a cliff face. It's absolutely insane, but it's beautiful. Sketchy as hell, though, man. This drop-off is like a couple of 100 feet. And like if you lost your balance and fell, like you would just tumble all the way down. You keep dropping down, though, and then you got this just amazing scenery. Keep dropping down more and more and more. That's their awesome dog, Holly. She's an Australian Shepherd, I think. Just a Shepherd puppy, but white head to toe. And then, yeah, we walked all the way down to the rocky bit. Sailplane cliffs, for sure. Is that what they're called? Little time-lapse action. Crazy. These rocks had, like, some blue to them, which was wild. Can't really see it. This is their porch. I was getting just a little bit of work done. Yeah, this is their screened-in porch. Off to the left, it's another little porch area that's not screened in. Just beautiful. And then Sunday, they took us out on their boat, which was amazing. Tim is a longshoreman, and him and his friend went halves on a boat, and they have it down in the Long Beach Harbor. Or no, I guess it's the St. Pedro Harbor. And so yeah, they took us out on the boat. I think it's like a fishing boat. So that was really, really fun. Union life indeed. I got to wear my old man hat, which is amazing because I got a little sunburned on Saturday, so I needed it. We had bagels and orange juice, which was awesome. Yeah, so this is the back of their boat. They have these 3 cool little movable chairs there. And then this is the top of the boat area. This is cousin Andrea, and then this is her husband, Tim. And then I think this is Tim's mom, actually. Whee! There's the doggo. What's this? Some of the kelp? It's just me doing that again. And again. So I flew a bunch of 2-inch Tiny Whoop 2S 04 batteries. Sorry, not Tiny Whoop. Whoop drone. As good as this little 2-inch setup is, it is no match for winds that are over like 10 miles an hour. So I'm really going to need to build a non-ducted 04 Lite setup. Which has me like questioning. Let me take a break from doing this for a minute. Which kind of has me questioning 2-inch versus 1.6 inch. Front yard, backyard. So back to this kind of debate. I don't want to leave these both together. These both have 04. I do not want to leave these both together. The 1.6 inch build here is better for like jumping in and out of little bushes and shooting tiny little gaps. But when it's windy, this thing is a little bit worse than this 2-inch setup. 1103, 11,000 kV motors on this with the GemFan tri-blades. 1102, 18,000 kV motors, motor limited down quite a bit with 1610 biblades. Around the house, with the little bit of wind that we get here in Georgia, where I'm at, this is great. If we get a little bit of wind, this is totally fine. It pushes against it all as well. This gets pushed around a little bit more. At the gig yesterday, I brought this with me. I wish that I'd brought this with me. This was too big and fast and heavy to really fly around the house. This would have been much better. And so I'm super torn. I'm almost starting to feel like this is the one that I should leave together, and then I should take this and convert it to an open propped setup. Because for really small flying, this is going to be better. And it still does kind of work in the wind. Not great, but it does work. This gets me into this area where, like, yes, it is a little bit better, for sure. But it's not better enough. Does that make sense? Maybe? And I would I think this is the one that's going to get moved around again, which is fine because I can just leave. I will leave this frame together, and then so all I'll ever need to do to rebuild this is to take it out of the other setup that I do with it with no prop guards and just drop it in here. Or I take this thing, unplug 4 motors, pull the center canopy, drop it into this frame, right? That's one of the main reasons that I don't want to have both of these together. It's just silly. I can easily have one of these together and the other frame ready to go, and then do something more interesting with the other of these 2 stacks, central canopy, whatever you want to call them. So yeah, this got some really cool footage. Again, patrons have access to a bunch of like 5 batteries or 6 batteries worth of flying with this on the Patreon page itself and on Discord. But there's jello all over the place, from A, flying in the middle of the day, but B, from the wind, just from like a consistent 5 to 10 to 15 mile an hour wind. And I don't know. What's super interesting about that edit is that I watched it on my phone a couple of times. I was like, wow, this ain't bad. I think I see a little bit of jello, but this ain't bad. I came home and I played it on the computer, and I was like, oh, fuck, this is awful. On like a big screen, everything is jello. And it's like really noticeable. And so, yeah, that kind of has me rethinking this 2-inch build. This thing has been great here in Georgia, but then as soon as I went somewhere that has actual wind, it was, boy, oh boy, it was getting pushed all around. The prop wash, the jello, trying to do dives with it, it just, I made it work the best I could, but something without prop guards that's like outrageously lightweight is I think the way that I'm going to go for something like this, where the specific goal is to be able to deal with wind, but still have something that's super safe, right? Like some sort of a toothpick with the camera pushed a little bit forward. It's still not going to hurt a fly. You know what I mean? 60 grams, 70 grams. It's still going to be super safe. This is definitely going to be safer. It looks like a little kid's toy. It is all plastic, right? But like, yeah, it's silly to have both of these put together. I built these 2 so that I could test them head to head. I've done lots of testing with them. And yeah, I think I'm pretty much ready to move forward with one of these. This guy is on an XT30. And so this will absolutely be the AIO and canopy that gets put into some sort of a toothpick style non-ducted frame. This guy has the BT 3.0, which fits perfectly in there on the Mobula 7 V3 frame. And so, yeah, this is the one that I think is going to stay together because it's no work, you know. If I were to pull this one apart and put this into something else, I'd have to change this battery connector setup. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at in the ever evolving cycle of what goes where. Speaking of what goes where, what's happening with this antenna? Get in there, antenna. Hold on, let me just fart with this antenna for 1 second. This is important. There we go. Much better. All right, back into it. This will be the thumbnail for that edit, maybe, once I get it done, maybe. A little bit of time lapse, just kind of going north. We probably went north, I don't know, 3 or 4 miles or so. Just these beautiful cliffs. Andrea and Maggie hanging. This is actually the beach where Andrea and Tim got married 15 years ago, which was really cool to see it from the ocean. Just trying to catch them birds doing bird things. Chasing the boat, keeping up with the boat. Pretty cool. Looking for us to throw food off the back. There's a cave in here that's pretty slick right in there. Just these cool little walkways that rock back and forth down the hill. There's the doggo. Doggo doing dog things. She's like 2 years old. She's still a puppy, but like a 90-pound puppy. Insane. There we are. This was incredible. This was such a nice escape from reality. More birds doing bird things, getting off the boat. Andrea let me borrow her 92 Miata for a little bit, which was absolutely amazing. This is her Subaru wagon. We had 6 people that we had to get down to the beach, down to the harbor. So Maggie and I drove the Miata, and then she took her 2 friends in the Impreza. And then on Monday, she let me take the Miata out just to kind of like explore a little bit, which is amazing. So she got this. So this was, I believe, this was Andrea's very first car. Was a 92 NA Miata in this exact color. And eventually, and when I first learned to drive and I went up to visit them at some point, she let me drive it, and it completely changed everything. It just, it introduced me to convertibles, and it also introduced me to lightweight cars. And it really made me understand how magic both of those things are. The only reason that I got a convertible Mustang Cobra was because of this car. I just had to have it. It connects you to the world around you in a very unique way. A year or 2 ago, Andrea wanted to get her exact year and Marina Blue Miata again, and she found one in California and bought it. It's been really well maintained. Little tiny crack in the piece of plastic here in the rear that always cracks, but really, really, really good shape. Totally stock. Totally stock. Which is, it's funny. For me, a completely stock Miata, I don't want to hammer on it. Like, I just want to relax and drive it slow. It's kind of cool. But then, like, mine that was all built up for autocross, all I want to do is go bananas in it. It's really neat how, like, the character of the car changes. I don't understand why there's no audio in these 2 clips. I'm kind of annoyed by that. But whatever. And so, yeah, we went out and explored, north of San Pedro, all the way up to Manhattan Beach. And so, yeah, this is us just kind of cruising around and living the Miata life. We stopped at this amazing place. I got some. I tried my luck with French toast, and it didn't wreck my stomach, which was awesome. Eggs fuck me up, so I've stayed away from French toast for a long time, but I did okay. What was this place called? The Yellow something. Yellow Vase. The Yellow Vase. Gorgeous little place. This whole it's Yeah, I don't know. This is just the most incredible area. Like everywhere you go, it's just so goddamn gorgeous. Little bug eye sprite. Or no, I'm sorry, it's an Austin Healy actually. I believe this is Redondo Beach. Don't quote me on that. There it is. Ugh. Pretty sure this is Redondo Beach though. They have the coolest looking little lighthouses. Old man hat and a Miata. What else? What else can you ask for? Very cool little store called Soul Bungalow. Just the coolest, man. Exploring on Sunday was, I think, the highlight of the entire trip for me. Being out with Maggie in a Miata with the top down and just like exploring such a beautiful area was absolutely magic. We probably drove like 10 miles up and down the Pacific Coast Highway. This is a little, I don't know what the hell these are called, but this is just pull off the side of the road and look over the cliff, and there's this. That's all kelp. There's a couple surfers down there. Yeah, cool little vertical control mark. I don't know. Look how short this... I mean, the Miata is sitting in front of it, but this VW bus was almost the exact same length as the Miata, which was kind of insane. And then this is where I was flying from. I was flying from the cupboard yesterday. That's pretty much it. Look at this place. Well, I guess you got to see a bunch of the fly-through footage, so I don't have to show you this. But yeah, I did most of my flying from the cupboard, which was great. There you guys go. That was my my trip to Florida. Massive thank you to Maggie for letting me tag along, and to Andrea and Tim for putting us up and being so generous, taking us out on the boat, let me borrow the Miata. It's just amazing. So cool. And then, yeah, so if you just joined, I'm doing this live stream, and then I'm out Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I might get home in time Monday for Monday night's stream, but I don't know how jet lagged I'll be. I don't know if I'll be a mess. So no promises on the Monday night stream, but I'm going to try really, really hard to do a Monday night stream. Absolute worst case scenario, a week from today, I will absolutely do another Whoop Wednesday stream. And so, yeah. Tiny Whoop Open, Denver, Colorado. I'm super excited. I fly out on Friday. The event is Saturday and Sunday, and then I fly home on Monday. GoPro player quit unexpectedly. That's okay. I forgive you, GoPro player. Just kidding. I don't forgive you. What's happening in chat? Denzel the Turbo says, did you take T-Pain with you? I did not. What's that mean? I feel like I'm missing a joke on that one. Hold on. Denzel the Turbo says, dust on your sensor, middle bottom. Where? I don't see it. Brian Kirk says, Hummingbird V4 is now $127. Yikes. Glad I got one for 80 bucks. Hope I don't break it anytime soon. Reagan V says, Joshua Tree ordered the good stuff when in Rome. Yeah, indeed. What about Joshua Tree? The couple that stayed with us, they were actually... Tim's friend and his wife and their kid stayed at Andrea's house, Andrea and Tim's house Saturday night, I think, into Sunday, and they went out on the boat with us, and then they were actually headed to Joshua Tree, oddly enough. McBucas says, been living in California since '76 when my family immigrated from Peru. You can totally pull this off. You will have a small house. It's the only advice I have for you. Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's kind of like a given. You know, if Maggie and I do the California thing, we absolutely know for sure that we will not be able to have more than like one, maybe two bedrooms, and it'll be a small little place. It wouldn't be much of an adjustment for me. I'm not used to living in houses. I'm used to living in 900 square foot apartments. I spend most of my time in this basement here. That's pretty similar to like an 800 square foot apartment. And so, yeah, it wouldn't be much of an adjustment for me. Maggie, I think it would be more of an adjustment for. She's used to living in homes that are a little bit bigger than that. And so, but, you know, location. And like, yeah, we'll see. We will see. Whoopi says, the Vision 40 canopy helps with the Jello. You can 3D print it. So I was kicking myself for not having got the Beta FPV canopies onto one of these two. Yeah, that was kind of silly. I should have gotten one of these. I should have brought both of these builds first and foremost, but I brought a lot of clothes. I brought too many clothes, which is the first time for me. But yeah, I should have brought both of these builds. That was kind of silly. And I should have put one of them on the Beta FPV damped canopies. I am very regretful that I didn't do that, because I think that would have helped with the Jello a little bit. But the biggest, it still might not have helped with it enough. What we need is a lightweight ND filter solution for these. I actually messaged Jason from Happy Model about it. I said, hey, any chance, you know, like, I actually sent him a link to the partially done edit. And I said, you know, the only thing holding the 04 camera system back on your Mobula 7 and maybe a Mobula 8 kind of setup that you might do is the inability to use an ND filter. I said, you know, if it would be absolutely insane if you could mold threads of some sort onto the front of your 04 canopy in the future for an ND filter. That would actually be more important than any kind of a ridiculous dampening. Dampening means to get something wet. Damping is to damp something. Yeah. An ND filter would do a better job at getting rid of the Jello than the Beta FPV damped setup. The Beta FPV damped setup will allow you to use Rocksteady and GyroFlow. The 04 Lite has a narrow field of view, and so I don't think you should use Rocksteady or Captain Bing Bong, but you do you. GyroFlow. Ripping around that house with 04. This guy, the 1.6 inch 2S build, there's this one goddamn mustache hair that keeps going straight up, and I can see it in the bottom of my vision. This guy with the Beta FPV canopy, where I can use Rocksteady or GyroFlow for flying around these, flying around would be amazing. So I'm probably going to do that. I'm probably going to move this over to the Beta FPV canopy. We'll see. Because I think I'm going to pull this one apart. Like we've been talking about. Cole Power says, have you seen Nurk's new 2-man gimbal drone? I haven't. but it's probably similar to what a bunch of people have been doing. Really cool stuff coming. Frank Nicholas says, what is the larger black frame quad? I missed that. It's basically a Mobula 804. It's the Mobula 704 transplanted into the Mobula 8 frame motors propellers. I think that it comes with these GemFan 2023 propellers. Really good. Really, really, really good. But still a tiny whoop. And so wind just hammers the shit out of it. Frosty says, are you a 1.6 or 1.8 guy? 1.8 for sure. The 1.6 Miata engines are just... It's just not enough displacement. And the 1.6s, it might be a short nose crank, which is a nightmare. Benny Bravo says, I remember in high school, you could buy Miata for a can of $2.25. Yeah, they used to be really cheap. I got my NB1 second gen Miata with tons of mods for like $5,500 and a black hardtop that I sold for like over $2,000. So I basically paid like just a little over $3,000 for a Miata with like coilovers, intake, exhaust, all kinds of shit. But the top was jacked up, so I had to put a new top on it, which basically ate all the money from the from selling the hardtop. But that was okay. I didn't want the hardtop. I would rather have a fresh soft top. Cole Power says, GoPro player crashes and you're all zen and cool with it. US utility. Yeah, the GoPro player doesn't crash constantly. That's why I'm cool with it. Frank Nicholas says, dust on sensor comment was about your phone camera. Oh. Dust was in the plane shot. T-Pain reference to being on a boat. Got it. Capital C says, the Beta FPV did not work well with the 2-inch and the 75. Lots of jello on both. Yeah, I don't have super high hopes for it from a jello perspective. I want to see what the 04 Lite is like with Rocksteady, and I'm going to try it with Rocksteady first. I should probably also try it with GyroFlow, but if with Rocksteady it's zooming in too far already, I'm not going to bother with GyroFlow, I don't think. Whoopi says, that's a canopy where you can put a Flywoo ND filter on. There's a canopy that you can put a Flywoo ND filter on. You can 3D print that too. So one of my requirements for the carbon fiber non-ducted frame that I put this setup here into is that it takes an ND filter. And so, yeah, we will see. This guy, I'm going to try with the Beta FPV canopy to see if it'll let me use Rocksteady. I don't think that there's going to be... I don't think that there's going to be a Tiny Whoop canopy where it's going to have damping to let Rocksteady work, but it's also going to use an ND filter. Not yet, at least. Hopefully somebody makes one. That would be cool. But I don't think there's anything yet. Capital C says, I've tried a bunch of different canopies on my 04 Mobula 85. I've had best luck with getting rid of jello with the Brain 3D canopy, but it's really heavy TPU. I also like Crom's print. I've had no problems with jello flying later in the day with the hard-mounted Happy Model canopy. In many years of different HD setups on micros, I've had nothing but problems with jello flying in the middle of the day when it's really bright out and the shutter speed goes really high. Regardless of soft mounting, hard mounting, whatever. So as far as I'm concerned, like flying in the middle of the day with anything smaller than like a 5-inch rig, you're going to deal with jello unless you can run an ND filter to get the shutter speed under control. So yeah. And I would rather have a setup that accepts an ND filter than a setup that I can use Rocksteady on, especially with the narrower field of view. With the 04 Pros, it's a different story because you've got that big wide field of view. But they're actually, they're probably not. The Jello is probably not going to be as noticeable on those because of the wider field of view. We'll see. I'll let you know. Moss1 says, "Why didn't you stream on the road, buddy?" It is damn near impossible to stream from your own setup with fast internet with everything tested and like dialed in from hundreds of previous streams. Streaming on the go is basically, hey guys, what's up? Oh, hold on. Oh wait, shit, this isn't working. Okay, so that's not. Oh, there's latency. Oh, the delay. All right, hold on, it's not working again. Okay, the delay, and YouTube stopped the live stream. It's just impossible. It's just a completely Bardwell doesn't do it anymore because it's impossible, and he's way smarter than I am, and better with computers and you know, with better gear and all that stuff. It's just, yeah, it's impossible. Cole Powers says you can set GF to use static camera FOV. I hate the zoom in, zoom out. Well, I mean, in order for it to stabilize, it has to zoom in and zoom out, right? So, like, no matter what, any sort of stabilization that you're going to use is going to take, on the 04 Lite, an already narrow field of view, and it's going to zoom on it. So, yeah, I mean, although, I mean, I guess technically you could set it to crop to, you could film in 4:3, set it to crop to 16:9, and then it could go up and down a little bit. But any kind of, like, for me, you know, the value of Rocksteady, the value of GyroFlow is horizon lock. Little bit of value to just like the regular FPV stabilization, but unless you're like dead flat, like it's gonna want to crop in at least a little bit. Yeah, setting it to like not crop in at all and only giving it the ability to move up and down, it's not going to do a lot. You want to give it the ability to crop in at least a little bit. And again, the 04 Lite, like it's pretty narrow already. It's, you know, it's also not the highest quality sensor. So as soon as it starts cropping in, you're going to start to get some garbage. But yeah. Stuart Guzman with it. Holy shit. 1999 super chat. He says, happy birthday, that broski. Thank you, Stuart, very much. Super kind of you, my brother. Witchcat says, I have a GX12 with the DBR4 receiver. I have no idea what that is. That I just bought new, but I am almost fail-safing just a block away. I changed both the power output and frequency. Made sure that none of the antennas on the quad touch. Keep getting the exact same DBN, near fail-safe, any frequency, and output power dynamic is off. So, ELRS test. If you search for ELRS test, hold on. This is probably a really good one to go through. This is not the one that I'm thinking about, but this probably has some really... Oh, here it is. It's in there. Okay. So the link I just put in chat, I just searched Google for ELRS tests, like a stone caveman. The very first hit is before first flight, quick start, ELRS quick start. You're going to scroll down halfway to bench test. This is what you want to do. This bench test is going to be your best starting point to make sure that all of the gear is set up properly. So work your way through this, and hopefully you'll find the problem. Also, if you're using Goggles 3, you need to update your module to the newest version of ExpressLRS. There's a weird bug there. Cole Powers says no. No what? Frank Nicholas says, did you get the package that was delivered last Thursday? Yep. As soon as I get caught up on chat here, I'm going to do mailbag. Cole Powers says you can set the FOV you want, but if you tune your response, it will tell you the crop factor in percent. If you tune your response, what's that mean? Dronzen says, happy birthday, my friend. All right, we're good. That's from Mighty Car Mods. If you like cars or good YouTube channels, go subscribe to them. The first box that I got looked like this. And you know what country that came from. This came from Walksnail, and it's got all my Walksnail stuff. All my repaired Walksnail stuff in it. 1S module, 1S module, 1S module. And then this says OK on it. Which, like, they gave me a whole breakdown of, like, what they fixed and what they didn't fix. There's a 1S module in here. I swear to God they were all broken. I'm going to be a little bit annoyed if this is still broken. But it is what it is. And a couple of Vistas. A couple of Vistas. Naked Vista, and then 2 full Vistas, and then a Walksnail V1. This is all of the Walksnail stuff that's failed on me. So, yay! More work to do! Whee! Not sure what I'm going to do with these yet, but it's nice to have them back. So yeah, you can Walksnail will repair stuff for you, and it's pretty reasonable. The pricing is pretty reasonable. I also got a box from Frank Nicholas with a GoPro Bones in it, which is super cool. This is going to be really fun. I'm going to figure out how to get this mounted up to the sub 250 cycling chasing stuff. Thank you, Frank, for this. Very, very cool of you. And then a couple of cables that I might need for the Pi setup. And a note that says that him and Craig got together and made me a birthday present, which is absolutely amazing. You guys are the goddamn best. And it says to open it on the live stream. And that is what I'm doing. Cole Power says, when you set how aggressive it corrects for pitch roll, yaw, and GyroFlow, it'll tell you the FOV used 95% is entirely usable for 4K. That's similar to, that's very similar to Real Steady Go. Or, as it's now called, GoPro Player. It's now built into GoPro Player. I always run it down very low. Very, very, very low. Like 10%. To keep it from zooming a lot. But again, I that's for nice wide angle cameras. The 04 Lite is very narrow, so any kind of stabilization is going to be a bit of a nightmare. Oh my god. Dude, holy how does this exist? How the hell do they make a 4 terabyte whatever these are called? Dude, holy shit. Thank you guys. Incredibly generous. Is this 4 1 terabyte glip glops, or is this 1 4 terabyte? And a little enclosure. But I'm so blown away by this. This looks like a single 4 terabyte stick. I've been trying to not use the word stick, but I can't think of the right word. It's empty. I think it's folded up in here. No, it's just empty. Wait, no, maybe it's in the enclosure. I think it's in the enclosure. I'm pretty sure it's in the enclosure. Dude, what? Look at this enclosure. What the hell? Oh my god, did they get hot? Did they get this hot? Holy shit. This is the most serious enclosure I've ever seen. OWC Express 1M2. Holy Christ. That is wild. Woo. Yo, that's a fancy looking enclosure. I'm out of practice speaking. Guys, holy shit, thank you. How is this empty? I had to cut the tape. Did you tape this shut? You tricked me. Oh no, you opened it from the bottom. I was super worried for a second there, because like you hear about that. You know, you hear about people that like order something from Amazon and it shows up just like empty. It's because the Frank must have opened it from the bottom. All right, let's hook it up. I actually have a free plug sitting right behind the monitor, and we're gonna do a speed test. Oh my god! Thank you guys. Holy shit! So I'm gonna hook this up. Thunderbolt for all the speed. So I'm gonna unplug this. I'm gonna have to plug this back in, but that's okay. So we're gonna take this cable here and plug it into the back of this, and then take this guy over here, plug that in. All right, so that is now hooked up via the most thunderous of bolts with the crazy fast Apple cable going to a hub. Let's see here. OWC Express 1M2. Look at that fancy little icon there. All right, so we're gonna fire up the Blackmagic test. So the fastest speeds I've seen have been from this drive that I've got. It's one of those little laptop drives, and I call it Fast SSD. So these are some of the fastest speeds I've ever seen. It was faster earlier. It was doing like 750 earlier. Here we go. So 446, 450, which is really fast. Select target drive. OWC, where are you at? There it is. Oh! Oh my god! Good lord, that's twice as fast. Holy hell. Alright, let me try something. I'm gonna now plug it directly into the computer with one of those crazy Apple cords. Apple Thunderbolt cords. So this is now going to be plugged directly into the back of the Mac Mini. Let's see. I've been trying to like suss out which cords and which hubs, how fast they are and shit like that. Oh my god! What? Holy hell! Oh my god! Okay, so I'm gonna have to to figure out how to plug this into someplace that's gonna be that fast. That's ridiculous. What? Holy shit! All right, hold on. Let me see. Let me plug it into this other hub that Frank actually also sent me. So this one goes here, and this one goes here. Okay, and then this one goes in here. All right, there's that. All right, so let me plug it in over here. Let's see here. Oh, buddy. That's going to be ridiculous editing off this. Holy shit, Shack. All right, let's see. Oh, man. Yeah, okay. I mean, that is outrageously fast. But damn, dude. Plug directly in. This is still half the speed. Versus plugging it straight in. Wow, okay. Yeah, so when I get next week, I'm gonna be shuffling stuff around. You know what? This is probably fast enough. This is probably plenty fast. So this is one of the expensive Apple cables going to a Thunderbolt hub, and then just kind of like a regular cable going to the enclosure. Good Lord. Frank says, look at the contents of the thing. How to install. Disk speed test temporary. Drive icons. Look at this. Look at these fancy icons they give you. What? That is super cool. Support documents. Oh, look at this. Yeah, okay. Yeah. That's the performance I saw a minute ago with it hooked directly up. Very cool. My God, 3,000. What the hell? Videos for the Gangly Gang. Brandon's Baked Beans. Is it gonna work? What's he up to? Oh my God, you guys are the fucking best. Hold on. No, go back. Oh shit, I don't know how to use a computer. Oh my God, I can't use computers. Why is it going so fast now? No. Stop it. No, stop it. There we go, I got it. We got this.
Yo, Ciotti, I'm out here at my spot. I just got done ripping a few packs. And I want to wish you happy birthday. Have a good one. Later, buddy.
Amazing! Mick Mucus video with the weirdest music I've ever heard. God forbid I'm not getting copyright struck from accordion music. This is Mick Mucus, Air 65 with a broken UFL becomes a dog toy. Yeah, I was about to say, I thought he grabbed it. Now he really grabs it. Ah! Awesome. Oh, man. Very cool, guys. Very, very cool. Thank you. That's rad. You guys are the goddamn best. Oh, maybe this cable is magical. I'll try this cable next. I'm really tempted to do it right now. Hold on. Let's do it right now. Let's see if we can get that 3,000. We want that 3,000 number, bro. Where's that 3,000? Come on. Get you some 3,000. It's over 3,000. Here we go. We're going to try it. This cable. We just jankily run it down there like that. So this hub that I'm plugging in right now, it is hooked up with the fast Apple cable. And so let's see. Where's the other side of it? It's right here. I think I just have to find a cable that's the same speed or throughput or whatever the hell you want to say as the yes, there we go. As the fancy Apple cable. Although, Christ, at 4 terabytes, I'll use one of those cables just to get that kind of speed. And that'll just be like the main drive that I use. All right, let's see. Select target drive. It should still be on that drive, but this is really cool. This is going to be really, really, really nice because it's big enough that I can just dump everything onto it first, and then like once a month, once a week, push everything to the spinning drives, and then turn those enclosures off. The little pinwheel that just happened was because one of the spinning drives had to spin up. That's silly. All right, open. Speed test. Oh, we're close. We're close to 3,000. So the cable that it came with is almost as fast as the fancy Apple cable. This is plenty fast. Well, I'm going to test a whole bunch of different cables when I get back next week. Oh my God, guys, thank you so much. Incredibly generous. That is going to really be amazing for me to just drop everything onto that, work with it through GoPro Player to put it through Real Steady Go. And then, yeah, this is really, really cool. Really, really, really cool. Thank you, guys. Incredibly generous. Let me get caught back up on chat, and then we'll fly a couple of batteries. Kevin Sumner says, NVMe SSD. Very, very cool. That's what I wasn't able to remember what it was. Frank Nicholas says they make 8 terabyte NVMe drives. My God, that is ridiculous. Drive is installed in the enclosure. William Loesch says, I ran a Bones today to teach an autonomous VTOL bird. Very cool. Action 2 is in the repair mail process, and this reminded me I need a GoPro or Dead Cat build with 04 Pro. Cole Power says, wow, perfect. I have a Bones. Biggest starting thing I missed. If you have to scan a QR code to get it in pairing mode, after that, use QR control app to set modes. Yeah, I got to mess around with the Bones as soon as they came out. The QR code thing is really, really cool. Frank Douglas says, connect the enclosure. Frank says, speed generates heat. Cole Power says, that NVMe drive is probably pretty fast. The fast ones can get quite hot. Frank Douglas says, one end was already cut. Yeah, the packaging, nice. Kevin Summer says, clonk, sounds healthy for computer parts. Frank says, that's not a Thunderbolt port. It is 3.5 times that speed. Frank also says, look at the contents of the drive. Enclosure came with a Thunderbolt 4 cable. Awesome. Frank Douglas says, I gave you the icons. Cool. I was going to say, that's pretty... the OWC drives I had... Well, they didn't have any storage, so that makes sense. Cole Power says, Bones, 5.3K mode tops out at 60 frames per second. 4K is 120. QHD at 240. Wow. Frank Douglas says, I tried to solicit videos secretly on Discord. Nice. I didn't notice. Cole Power says 5.3K mode is great for GyroFlow. And if you set the output, crop factor can be rather generous for static FOV. Very, very cool. I've never run 5.3. 4K has always been plenty. But I never thought about that. Yeah, running 5.3 and then putting it through Real Steady would basically give 4K. That's pretty cool. Frank Douglas says you want to edit off that drive. Yeah, this drive will be where everything goes initially, and then I do all the work that I need to, and then shuffle it off to the 12 and then the 8s. Damn. Very, very, very cool. Happy birthday to me. Shit. Let's fly a couple of batteries. Walksnail first, because I want to see if this $20 HDMI to USB-C dongle works. So I ran the cable all nice like, and now I'm going to have to remove the cable to bring with me to Colorado. Well, first things first, let's see if I can get the video from these up onto the VRX screen. So I'm going to need to add new... I'll just do it in here. HD VRX. I think this is it. USB 3 video. I have a feeling this is going to pop up in a second. And then I've got 6 Lava 300 mAh batteries here. And... Ah, yeah, cool. So let's see how well it works. Hold on, I have my transmitter. Hey, yeah. So I'll have to kind of rely on you guys. Usually I use a Elgato HD60S Plus with the Walksnail setup. This is now a much less expensive, but probably just as good functioning from what I've heard. I've heard bad things about the HD60S Plus. This is a much less expensive setup here. All right, so that right there was my bad. That was me knocking the cable out. Hey. This USB-C to HDMI cable is like exactly too short. So if all the video drops out, it's probably the cable. This is the Walksnail freestyle rig. It only flies backwards. Yikes. Oh my god, what was I thinking? I haven't flown around here in a while. I forgot how. What? Current hard drive system. Current hard drive setup, I should say. 2 of these toaster oven things. Which, these stupid little toaster oven enclosures worked better and were faster than both of those OWC enclosures. Unbelievably. And then this fancy one is going to go somewhere in there. This is the 1 terabyte little laptop drive here on the left in front of the CiottiFPV red LED thing. All right. Jesus, 1 minute and 26 is like nothing. Can we get a little bit more runtime here? Let's see. Maybe that battery's just hammered ass. Fly your 6 batteries, my friends! While I'm gone, you still have to fly. You know that, right? You better. I'm assuming the video is totally fine, other than when I move the cable and it drops all the way out, right? There's not any weird, like, bitrate shit going on. Whew! Man, this video quality is unbelievable, but boy, do these digital rigs fly heavy. A lot of these crashes are because of how heavy this thing is. It has nothing to do with me being a shit pilot. Ah! I just clipped the hi-hat. Oh, stop it. Shoot the ever so small gap. Let's go for the low. Ah! Got that shit. How you like me now? Wow, Teddy, you almost caught a fucking Walksnail 65 to the face, my little fuzzball. Oh, God. Oh! Yeah! We flying live again. Minute and 16 this time. What is going on with the run times on this? Maybe this freestyle rig just... Did it always get run times this bad? I thought that it at least got to 2 minutes. I've not really flown this all that much, though. I typically fly the one with the Batwing mount for chasing the RC drift cars. Maybe this freestyle build just gets shit runtime. It does have the 40 billion kV motors on it. And I am using a little bit of full throttle. This is with the Gemfan biblades. Dog butt. God damn it. I tried to shoot the gap between the monitors. I don't even know if that gap is big enough. Like, I don't even know if that gap is an actual possibility. Yeah! I just heard the camera shut off. I guess webcam utility hasn't been fixed after all. Oh. Did we get better runtime this time? Nope. It's getting worse with every battery. Minute and 3 seconds, this one. What the hell? That didn't feel like a minute and 3 seconds. Oh, Canon, I can't believe... I did all those updates and like everything was so good. Everything was so good. Whoa, what the fuck? Oh wait, no, that's not it. There we go. Hold on, let me fix it. Hold on! There we go. VTX overheating, just like that. Let's wang this thing around the house. What do you say? Oh no! We're falling down the stairs! It's good. Everything's fine. Oh wow, it's dark up here. Dark up here. They made spaghetti and meatballs. Oh yeah, that's what's waiting for me. Oh yes. There it is. Some spaghettis, some meatballs. I'll be sure not to eat Teddy, the spaghetti monster. Stop it! Oh god. I went to hit the switch and then my thumb went haywire on the throttle there. Wow! Yeah, okay, this freestyle Walksnail build, it just gets a minute and 10-second runtimes. That's insane. That really does not feel like a minute and 10 seconds. I feel like that's off. Hold on. I'm going to turn the... Oh. YouTube shit the bed. Okay, I think maybe YouTube shit the bed and it took EOS utility with it, maybe? I don't trust it. I'm gonna run a stopwatch. Okay. Plug in. I don't trust it. Let's see. Alright, come on. Come on. Okay, here we go. Arming. Starting. Oh god. Oh boy. Look at this dog. Would you just look at him? Oh my god! I got a little carried away on that one. This is my wire management setup. It's not great. It's all right though. I use little Velcro loops around the bottom of the desk here, and then I just bundle it all up on the loops. And unless you're a tiny whoop flying under the desk, you don't even see it or notice it. Gets a little hairy over here, but everything's going to a place. That's one of the Thunderbolt hubs that Frank sent me. I double-sided taped it to the bottom of the desk. Oh god, I'm gonna cut my hand off. Yeah, no, okay. That's a minute. This rig only gets 1 minute run times. That's absolutely insane. I'm gonna pull this rig apart and do something different with it. That's absolutely ridiculous. That's not enough runtime. How did I not notice this before? What is happening? Is this real life? Is everything okay with this build? How does it only run for 1.5 minutes? I do have like the most outrageously powerful motor and prop combo available on it. Let me take a look at the tune. No, tune's not super aggressive or anything like that. Yeah, no, tune is pretty chill, to be honest. Weird, man. And I mean, I'm limping this thing around. Like if I fly here, I'll fly it hard for this battery. Hey. I think the battery's dead already. Ah, shit. Oh, I thought it was going to go behind there. Oh, I tried to back it into the dive tunnel. Oh, come on. That was so smooth. Aye. Well, that's interesting. It's still got 1:10. Even me hammering the hell out of it. So it doesn't like to be limped around, although the battery is not coming all the way up to 3.8. And there goes Canon utility again. Fucking unbelievable. Canon, I'm gonna light your whole building on fire and then eat you in your faces. Oh boy. What a pain in the ass. Oh, I was really excited that it might actually work. That the updates might have fixed it. God damn it, Jim. Did that capture card work okay? Any weirdness? I'm gonna assume not. I'm gonna assume that it was totally fine. Wow, it won't come back to life now. Please come back to life now. Thank you. All right. There you have it, friends. Sorry you had to wait an entire week for another live stream. But now you're going to have to wait another week, potentially. I might be able to stream on Monday night. We'll see. Capture card was great. Awesome. Cool. So now I have the second capture card that I'll need for the Sony camera. I forget who it is. They're in my Discord DMs, but somebody is letting me borrow their Sony A5100, I believe it is. And I'm going to run that into the capture card that I was just using. So awesome. Yeah, we'll see. The Canon thing might be coming to an end here, which is totally fine. Let me get caught up on chat and then we'll wrap this up. Cole Power says, I have a Bones mount for Cinelog 30 that you could print. I remixed one into a solid option, but I print it on its side with a different material block for support, and it's very clean. So I'm going to run the Bones on not either, because the AIO frame blew up. It's going to be run on the QAVS Cine frame, and I have one of the little triple glip glop GoPro mount TPU things on the top of it. So I'm going to run on that. I'll be good. I don't have a Cinelog 30. I've always been so curious, though. Cole Power says if it doesn't fit, give me dimensions, I'll make it fit. Witch Cat says, just did the ExpressLRS test and everything's normal. Any ideas when flying it suddenly drops down? The only thing I can think of is that you're using goggles 3 and they're interfering. I've not really ever had any issues with ELRS that I've had to like look into it, so I don't really know how to troubleshoot it. Just because I've never had any problems with it. Frank says I've had good luck with that USB-C HDMI input. Yeah, Frank is who sent me the link to the little capture card thing. Moss1 says video looks clean. Yeah, Walksnail looks really, really good. It really does. Gold Power says I've been doing more than 6 most days. Neighbor bent a battery. My dog broke a motor plug. I've had a single wire motor break and a hover. I've been abusing the Newbie Drone Happy Model V4. Nice. Newbie Drone Hummingbird V4 rather. Moss1 says fug that latency compared to analog. Yeah, it's real. But boy, the video quality is nice. Cole Power says, do you wish I was GoPro player? I'll make you wish you'd never said that, EOS Utility. Cole Power says, don't dong chim the Teddy. Notices what's up. Just popped in to wish CiottiFPV happy and healthy. Thank you, dude. Kevin Sumner says, yep, talked about that. Frank says capture card worked perfect. Awesome. Kevin Sumner says the same thing. And then Frank dropped the link. Very cool. I am exhausted. I'm gonna get some sleep, and then tomorrow I'm gonna pack for the Tiny Whoop Open. There's gonna be a giant live stream Saturday and Sunday with the Tiny Whoop Open. Tune in as much as you can. I don't know when I'm gonna be on there, but I'm gonna be announcer for a little while, and then hopefully I'm going to be doing some live broadcast flying, which will be super cool. So if you see some HD footage, you know, cruising around, not racing, it's probably me. Yay! Love you guys. Thanks for hanging. Thanks for all the birthday wishes. I'll be back Monday night of next week or Wednesday of next week. And then I don't really have anything planned for May. So May should be like a month of regular old 4 or 5 time a week live streams. Cool? CiottiFPV.com to support me. That's all I got for you. Thanks for hanging, friends. Thanks for the incredibly generous super chats and gifts and all the good stuff. You guys are amazing. I really appreciate it. Massive shout out to Frank, Nicholas, and Craig for this outrageously fast hard drive. I'm really tempted to start screwing around with it now, but I'm gonna wait until I get back. Love you guys. Bye. Hold on. Here's another little chunk of flying from Dr. J's kid's house. Let's see. There go the spinny drives. Nah, this one's after dark. Hold on. This one good? Nah. This one's not good. This is a good one. This should be a good one. Nah, it's not a good one. Oh, here's the railing the 04 around in there. This is fun. Yeah, here you go. 65 mil. This is the rig that I used to chase the RC drift cars. See you guys Monday or Wednesday. Love you. Bye.